Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning to these videos. This video is going to be another MOTB update because we're going to be speaking about these things that are happening in the news that pertains to prophecy. That's the whole testimony of Yahweh Shai, and to watch for these things as we measure the times diligently so that we know that our salvation is nearer than we believe. So all these little articles and things that happen in our lives should get you in that mindset that we're just that much closer for Yahweh Shai to return and to subjugate these people down here who are getting ready to do a wicked decree. And the wicked decree specifically here is the MOTB. And of course, we abbreviate it because Esau Edom is trying to clean up the situation so that no people can hear these words. But ultimately, he's still falling in the hands of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai in prophecy. Because once he starts shutting these videos down, that is the famine of the word. That was prophesied to happen. And with all these things happening in the news, and you got various other companies working for this agenda, we should be in good spirits because this is going to be the last hour of temptation that we are going to go through. And we're being tried and refined in the furnace of affliction right now. But during the hour of temptation, our faith for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will be put to the test. And so with that being said, I wanted to read this article just to show you just how much closer we are for the bridegroom to show up. As the rest of these people are in darkness, we are on our watch. So this article, it's on the Telegraph. It was posted a few weeks ago. The title says, "Put microchips in prisoners to track them," tech bosses told ministers. Now, these things, they kind of already have it on the books. They've already tested it. And they're just basically easing this idea and notion into the population so that when it actually happens, there's not going to be a lot of pushback. And really, a lot of these people are begging for it. It's only the elect that are going to be speaking against it, and they're not going to receive it. They could do anything to us, even take our lives. But we rest in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, so we're pretty much already dead to this world. Now, with this article, because it already raises eyebrows, and I'm going to continue on. So this says, microchips could be inserted under offenders' skin to track their movements, tech firms told the prisoner's minister. The proposal for subcutaneous tracking was put forward by tech bosses as a way of monitoring the behavior and health of offenders 24/7 in real time. It was part of a discussion last summer between Lord Timpson, the prisoner's minister, and some of the world's biggest tech firms of what a technology-enabled justice system could look like in 2050. So this is something that they are working for. This is their endeavor. They really want to have everybody chipped up pretty much. Just because it's in the prison systems doesn't mean that it's going to stay in the prison systems. They're basically just training grounds so that they can get it more efficient and perfected so that when they actually try to roll it out, they like in their mindset, they have like like the idea that this agenda with the trying to chip everybody is going to succeed. So it's all just trial and error for them. All right, so continuing on in this article, it says, other suggested initiatives revealed by Inside Time, the prison newspaper, were self-driving vehicles to transport prisoners using AI to predict the risk posed by individuals and robots to contain inmates in jail. And with Esau Edom trying to put this device into everybody and everything, it's really because he's setting up Internet of Things society, where everything is monitored and everyone is contained in their area. And like if you watch the movie Ready Player One, it was basically in a distant future. It was all dystopian, And the only escape from all of the hell that everyone was going through was to play virtual technology games. Like they had a headset on, so that it's as if they're basically just playing a video game in like a nice environment. And so with this AI stuff that he's pushing and all of his technology things, like even your refrigerator connects to Wi-Fi now. But like you walk down the street and you're just being bombarded with all of those Wi-Fi signals. It's because that's the foundation that he's paving for the society. Of course, it's not going to succeed, but nonetheless, he's still going to work on that endeavor. Now, I can continue reading on this article, but you pretty much get the gist. He's trying to enable this technology onto the people. It's a little too early, like if you continue reading on, but this is definitely something that they have on the books, and they want it to happen in the time span of like just 20 years from now. 2050 is what they want. But really, if they want to do it sooner, they're going to. And we can see as we're measuring the times diligently that Esau Edom just needs the right disaster, the right cause to push out this notion to put this chip into everybody. All right, so I want to start off by reading also in Habakkuk 2. Then I'll get these other precepts. But this is Habakkuk 2 and 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. And this is the testimony of Yahushai. This is something that you should be doing or meditating on, speaking on, and preaching about, because this is the main thing that our faith is going to be tested during the hour of temptation. So like with all that getting, get this understanding. And this is ultimately the testimony of Yahushai. It's like the main thing that he's harping on here. Let me just get a quick precept in Revelation 19. This is Revelation 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. So you need to get in the spirit of prophecy, speaking about these things. Like in Matthew 24, because we always go into that chapter right now because we're in those days. The signs and the times, wars, rumors of wars, all of these things are taking place now. But the end is not yet. Esau Edom still has to uphold his end of the bargain and be the devil in these last days. So I'm going to continue on back in Habakkuk 2 and verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And we had years ago, we had these various other Hebrew Israelite camps, namely IOIC, speaking ill about the doctrine that Great Millstone speaks about. But like we're in those times, and like this thing, it's like an elephant in the room, and you pretty much have to address it at this point. You know, they would scoff at us because we would speak about this MOTB, but now it's literally unavoidable. It's in the news everywhere, and it's amongst all of these NPCs. This is a notion that they're actually accepting now, that they'll put this device in because all these people basically have that mindset, like an NPC, where they really do need to be chipped up. They forget their keys. They need their wallet, or like they have to pay quick transactions, all of those things. And the only thing that they really need is the MOTB. And so all these other pastors, if they're not speaking this truth, is because there is no truth in them. The testimony of Yahushai is not with them. So I'm going to continue on. I'll read from verse 4. It says, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And we're the just men right now, because we're doing what we were commanded to do. Be watchmen for Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. measures the time diligently. And whenever we see something over the horizon, we let the nation know. And this MOTB is over the horizon. Well, if anything, it's like at the door. Like I referenced, it's basically like an elephant that you have to address, like, because it's just in the front of everybody. It's taking up space, and it's like to the point where like it's undisputable that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because no other person down here is doing those things that, like how the scriptures describe this devil. It literally paints him like to a T, with all the descriptions and things that he'd be doing in these last days. All right, so I'm going to read this in 2 Thessalonians 2, and I'll start at verse 2, because, I referenced all these other various pastors that are leading the flock astray, and they're not preaching what we should be preaching about. It's to basically get ready for this spiritual warfare that we're all partaking in. So this is 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 2. Actually, I'll start at verse 1. It says, "Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." And we, as a whole nation, went through that falling away. We were basically cast into all these other nations, namely here in America, which is Babylon. And we were made to be servants and handmaids. The curses that were spoken about in Deuteronomy affected us. And so that's the falling away. It was to the point that like we as a whole nation forgot who we were as a nation. But the Spirit uplifted us. That's what's causing us to get back up on our feet. And so in these last days, we're retaining this wisdom, knowledge, understanding again. And now this devil is being found out. Like you can apply Job 9:24 to this devil. And we have that understanding. He's the person who's in charge of the world. And like he can see what's happening in the world. It's just a whole bunch of wickedness. So you should want to escape this place. Want the destruction of this place. Justice to be served. And that right there, like in this last part of this verse, that this man of sin being revealed, the son of perdition, is literally happening. Every week it's another scandal with this guy. But I'm going to continue on. Verse 4. It says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High." And that's Esau Edom's mindset. He doesn't believe in a heavenly father or a spiritual realm or things like that. He's an atheist. But if that stuff does exist, then it's him. He's the chosen. He's the judge. He's Yahweh Shai. He's the so-called white man. That's the God complex that he has. Verse 5, it says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things." And that's why we always go into Matthew 24, because those are the things that were told to us to watch for and measure with. Now, I'm going to jump a little bit just in verse 7. It says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." Now, so there's two things that I wanted to highlight in this verse, is that the wicked, being Esau Edom, is being revealed, and the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is consuming him with the spirit of his mouth. And that right now is happening. While we're out there on the highways and hedges, setting our face against Mount Seir, prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom, we are breaking down strongholds. It's pretty much just like what happened in the time of Jericho, when their walls were collapsed just by the spirit of noise. And these words that we're speaking, it's not just of us, it's not of men, it's of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. If you're hearing me right now, you are hearing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We're just vessels to send this message to you. And so as that's happening, it's being consumed, destroyed. Osage, the spirit of his mouth is destroying this place, but with the brightness of his coming, he's going to utterly wipe the place clean. So like this place is only going to last for 1 hour when those missiles fall. And when Yahweh Shai returns and judges this place. And let me see, I'm going to continue on verse 8. It says, and then, so okay, verse 9, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. And these are those false miracles that he's going to implement. So right now, this is kind of like a futuristic society. You got DoorDash, self-driving cars. It's kind of just minuscule, but like you could definitely see that this society is very different than how it was in ancient times. Like you could really do things just with a touch of a button in these days. But it goes deeper than that, because Esau Edom, with his wicked devices, is going to start curing people. Like that MOTB in the news, he's always testing on people who are paraplegics and putting a device in his brain so that certain things in his wired brain start activating. And that's him doing his left hand blessings. Because yeah, he's going to make these cripple and lame people communicate again, but ultimately they're still lame and disfigured. It's really like the blessing of that we're going to receive, and some men down here are going to have that ability to cure believers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Whatever ailment that they're going through, whether it's like being like paralyzed or being crippled, or whatever the situation is, if you have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, then you're going to be made whole. But just to focus on verse 9, it's really speaking about Esau Edom and his lying wonders, because he's definitely going to tackle those type of ailments and cure them with his left-hand magic. And his left-hand magic is this device. Now, we're not going to receive it and any type of benefit that he shows with it, we're not going to take it, because we're pretty much caught wind to what this devil is doing with this device. Because with all these things, bells and whistles, it's like a Swiss Army knife that he's going to be able to do with his Internet of Things and everyone being connected to it. The main reason he's doing that is because he wants to have everybody on that blockchain, like so that all the money is going through one system, all electronically. And that right there is how this all fits into prophecy, and why we're supposed to deny the MOTB. So this is in Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So this right here is saying that Esau Edom is going to make a wicked decree that everybody down here has to receive this mark in your right hand or in your forehead. And that's coincidentally how this MOTB works and functions, by either having that Neuralink or having that little microchip that's small as a grain of rice. See, I kind of said too much, but this is what the Spirit is speaking now. So verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this decree is causing everybody. And mind you, like I'm just going to highlight what I had just read, because he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. And that's pretty much what the article was about. They wanted to put this in inmates. And that's what represents the people who are in bondage. So even if you're outside of jail or inside of jail, he's making this decree that you have to take this. Like they basically want everybody under the sun to have this device in them. And so that's why we have to be faithful unto death, because we know what happens if we accept that, if we trust in this devil. And they're going to be partakers in the lake of fire. See, we in this ministry, we are hoping to be part of the number to be delivered out of this place, so that all these miracles happen and that it affects us, because we know what happens to those who accept that device. And this is in Revelation 14 and 9. It says, let me see. I'll start at verse 8. It says, "And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is falling, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And Esau Edom has put a wicked vibration onto the whole earth. The hurtful works are fulfilled." That's why this place is in disarray. And continuing on, verse 9, it says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand," verse 10, "the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." So this right here is a picture of the elect and Yahushua watching Babylon fall and be destroyed with those missiles. And all those people who trusted in the society and received that MOTB, they're going to be in that fire. They're going to be in the fireworks, so to speak, during the wedding ceremony when Yahushua gathers his elect. Because none of his elect, when they board that fathership, when they get delivered by the chariots, are going to have that MOTB. So with that, I pray that this video is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh, and Shalom Akim.